Alright, Indonesia sucks. Day 12. Just, we'll keep going on, I suppose. So, yeah, try to be relevant. So again, just this discussion about how to create mechanisms, what kind of system design changes in the world, and it's that people just aren't mature enough to have those kind of conversations. Obviously, it doesn't get done. But I mean, here you have a dilemma of this problem where people don't get each other. They don't respect each other in a sense. I could see myself going to another country, and I'll play along with most of the customs. Most of the customs might be very tolerable, but they might have some kind of, like, I don't know, eat somebody else's shit. It might be some custom they have where they eat each other's shit for the day. And I might say, yeah, I don't really want to do that. That doesn't sound like a good idea. And so I would try not to participate, and then there could even be, there's the hawk again. Maybe, I wonder if it's got a nest here. A big bird hanging around up in that tree, I believe. You don't see any nesting material. Anyway, I guess it just creates a nice swooping zone for grabbing stuff, I suppose. Probably birds. Anyway, so it's not like I'm opposed to people adapting to people's customs and trying to find mechanisms, though, to get around the fact that sometimes those customs are going to be just not really going to work out. There's going to be a circumstance where people just aren't going to be able to take what you take seriously, because it's too silly, too stupid. And, when you get into this vice regulation, it's going to get like that. We might have a law in our country that says, you can't torture and eat a kitten. Hunt one with a bow and arrow and then eat it. And, but somebody might come from another country where that's what they do. And, they're comfortable with that. And they find our discomfort with that, kind of idiotic. So they might, we could have a law that says you can't do that, and we're going to cut your legs off if you do that. And so there'd be two things to measure there. Obviously, the proportionality of our saying you can't do that here. How draconian are we going to be? And the fact that we're going to impose our law on you. And so there's another component too, which would be the integrity of the law. Is it reason-based? And that's really sort of important for civilized people, reasonable people. They say a law has got to be reason-based. Can't be based on dogma or, we the majority say so. You have to say so with the authority of a rational opinion, why it's necessary, why is it important. Anyway, so that's the dilemma. And the simple solution, in my opinion, to the dilemma is just to create mechanisms, all right, where there's some penalty and there's some recognition and acknowledgement of a problem, but you don't leave it unresolvable, in the sense that you can acknowledge your offense. You can acknowledge that, look, you come to our country, we expect you to conform to certain rules. And if people don't do that, then they lose the right to come to your country, or, these other reasonable mechanisms to acknowledge what happened. Even have the State Department, who issued the visa to the individual, maybe have them pay a fine. And that way they'll work harder to make sure, people who come to this country, let's say, and hunt and eat kittens, they'll know that they can't do that here. Because the State Department will make sure they understand you can't do that here. That kind of. People have to buy insurance when they get their visa, so it'd be more expensive for them to travel. So if somebody from Indonesia wanted to come here and hunt kittens and eat them, they'd have to pay more for, and based on how many times the State Department gave somebody a visa in their country to come here. And so the more they fail, the more expensive the travel becomes, and less people end up traveling. So there's a mechanism there. It resolves the problem. We prevent offending each other because with each offense, the penalty gets higher. In terms of the prohibitiveness of the next person making the same mistake. Because it's going to become so expensive for them to travel there that they're not going to want to pay the insurance against making the mistake of smoking a joint, for example. So anyway, there, simple solution. Will it get talked about? No. Will it get mocked and nitpicked and naysayed out of existence? Yes. Because why? Because humans suck. Okay, not just Indonesian humans, but really most all humans suck. Only a tiny percentage of the human race is capable of having rational argument, fair argument, arguments with any kind of integrity or meaning. They're just jargoneers. They're just myopic Borgites to cultural ideology. They're just owned by what grandma told them. Or their hippie friend, or their bum friend, or some other, oh man, he's got such wisdom. He's lived on the streets. Yeah. No, sorry. Failure. Failure advice from failures. Brilliant. Anyway. Indonesia sucks, and we suck because we don't do anything about the suck. Period. Sucks being on Earth because Earthlings suck. Period. Unrefutable truth. Demonstrated by a plethora of factual evidence.